Yeah, thanks everybody for being here tonight. Obviously, credit Michigan on a well-played game, a great performance by them in all three phases. And obviously, momentum got on their sideline pretty quickly with the opening kickoff return. Credit them. There's great field return. It looked like we overran the ball from the field at multiple positions, which leads to an explosive play. And then we got some things going a little bit, a very little bit offensively, and then obviously to give up some explosive plays defensively early is something that we have not done in the past handful of games. Again, so credit Michigan's offense. And then, we just couldn't get out of our own way defensively, or offensively, excuse me. We'd put something together, we'd get a penalty, we'd get a drop, we'd get a misassignment. So that's disappointing. Obviously starts and ends with me, and I believe in that group of guys that's in the locker room. We got a darn good football team. We just didn't get them prepared to play that way today. And I got to give a ton of credit to Michigan. I thought they played very well, and I'm absolutely ecstatic to see Jake Rudock graduate. I mean, he's been a thorn in our side, two institutions. He's a great young man. I want to congratulate him. And it's good to see him graduate. So I don't have to lose him again. But congratulations to them, and go from there. Matt Harris update was doing pretty well in the locker room. Most of that was for precautionary measures. It does have a little bit of a laceration that they cleaned up, but it looks like preliminarily everything will check out well. So I figured you might ask me on that. So with that, how about some questions, please?
How much of a punch in the gut was that kickoff return just right from the get-go?
Yeah, I think it was a big momentum play, but we've given up some momentum plays in the past, and we've responded to it. I just think that Michigan's defense obviously outplayed our defense today, and that made the biggest difference. If you give up that, and now it's 7-0. All right, we're midway through the first quarter, midway through the second quarter. It's a different deal, So that just compounded once they got momentum.
It's down 14-0. The decision not to go for it on 4th and short. Was that just trying to get anything going and points on the board?
Yeah, I really felt like we needed to get points on the board, and it was 4th and 2, and we got maybe a half a yard on the play prior. And I've got great confidence in Jack, and it looks like he just pulled it just a little bit. But I felt like any points would have been critical, and I felt confident in Jack, so that was a decision. Obviously, didn't make a difference in the game.
Right.
Yeah, wish it would have. Yeah.
30 yards rushing. What did you see on the defensive line?
I think they dominated our front. That's what it looked like to me. I don't know if you want any more superlatives? Okay.
Coach, any sense that the moment was too big for some of the young guys, or was just Michigan just?
No, I don't think it was too big. I didn't sense that at all. I felt like we knew what we were coming into. We knew the kind of team that we were playing, and obviously I didn't get the guys ready to go from the start. And I've got a suspicion when I watched, as soon as I get on the bus, I watched that opening kickoff. I can tell you exactly what happened because I saw it unfold. So, pretty disappointing way to start.
Anything catch you off guard about this Michigan team? Maybe surprised you? Or?
No, I think they executed very well today. That's not a surprise, though. They had been executing pretty cleanly. And until this game, I thought, especially defensively and kick game-wise, I thought we had executed pretty well. That had been kind of the secret to our success. Both those phases had played pretty well. We had typically made the momentum play in the kicking game up until this point, and obviously to give it up was not the way you want to start on the road. It's tough to win on the road, and anytime you give a home team momentum, it makes it even that much more difficult.
Their linebacker Ross was ejected for targeting. First, did you think that was a right call? And it looked like he said something to you.
Oh, I just wish him good luck. I'm a former defensive guy, as you know. It's tough to play defense these days, and I didn't see the play, but I know the emphasis that the officials are trying to make. And when I talked to the side official, the way he explained it to me made sense. And then obviously they look at it now, but I'm assuming that young man was just trying to make a football play. It's the game. It's a tough game, but played by tough guys, and that's what I assume. I just wish him good luck as he ran by me.
You mentioned Jake Rudock, and their defense gets all the stats, and their offense though today was equally impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Jake, just took what we gave him. You can't take everything away, and he was able to find the things. He's a veteran quarterback. He's played a lot of Big Ten games, and he was smart with the ball and got it out of his hands, especially when we had some semblance of pressure. And then they're doing a good job. They got a lot of volume in their offense, and so they build in new things kind of in the first quarter of each game, and obviously our guys didn't respond well, and you can't anticipate what those things are going to be. You know, some of the plays were off of some areas that we thought they might go, but we just weren't disciplined enough. And if you win on those plays, you get them to 3rd and long. When you don't, you give up explosive plays. And then we fit wrong, like the one long run by the fullback, we fit wrong, and our corner's too far up the field. So just little things that start with us as coaches and ends with us as coaches, and we just got to get it fixed.
With Clayton, I mean, this is probably the toughest environment he's faced in terms of the stadium atmosphere and
Yeah.
defense. What were the challenges he faced in going into when he was pulled in the 4th quarter?
Yeah, well, he wasn't pulled in the 4th quarter. I mean, let me make sure I'm clear. We didn't pull him. We're down, multiple scores, and I wanted to make sure that as the game progressed, number one, that we could get the other guys some reps. Those guys are working hard in practice. They've been very patient. I'd actually like to have them have an opportunity flipped over, but that wasn't the case. I thought he targeted some throws pretty well. I don't think it was above Clayton today. And I don't think it was on Clayton's shoulders. I thought we had way too many drops. It looked like our offensive line was getting pushed back into his lap all day, throwing off his back foot and throwing on the move. And you got to credit Michigan. I said it on Monday. I mean, and this isn't to discredit the job that Coach Harbaugh and his staff are doing. They're doing a terrific job, outstanding. But that's a veteran team we just played. I mean, that is a senior-laden football team. That is a very good football team. And obviously, Coach Harbaugh and his staff are doing a great job. But we've got to play better. We've got to coach them better. And we got beat by a veteran team today, and we got to learn from it. Our young guys have got to learn from it. Point of attack was right at the kickoff play. We're too many young guys. Obviously, it's my fault. So we just got to get better there.
Coach, a couple of years ago, you went into that Ohio State game with a lot of momentum and it didn't go well.
Yeah.
The team didn't recover. What do you learn from that, and how do you use it going forward here to try and bounce back?
Yeah, well, I think the team didn't recover from a standpoint, Jack, of the wins and losses, but I think they recovered from the way they came back. And the disappointing part in the past was we didn't recover on the win column. I mean, that team fought. I mean, we fought. We just didn't find a way to win. We beat ourselves a bunch that year. And that'll be some things that I'll share with the guys. Those teams came back. You think about the way that some of those games went down. Those are pretty hard, gut punches back in the day. And a lot of our seniors have been a part of that. And I think their attitude was right in the locker room right now. I mean, I just saw Danny Vitale before I left. He said, we're going to flush it and we're going to move on. Got beat by a very good team today, and we didn't play very well. And we made them look even better. So, credit Michigan. They played outstanding, and I didn't have the team ready to go. So it's on me, and we'll get right back to work as soon as we get on the bus.
Coach Harbaugh talked about getting to know you a little bit on a personal level earlier this week leading up to this game. What are your impressions of him, and how much you've gotten to speak with him and talk to him?
Yeah, I mean, like he was when he was a player. I mean, he's just he's a player's player, and now he's a coach's coach. I mean, he's from a great football family. And they do a terrific job. There's a toughness, there's an attitude, and it permeates throughout their whole football team. And it's with a big tip of the hat of respect that you respect the job that he's done. And I don't know if we see each other for a number of years now. I think it's 4 years until we play each other again. So, but congratulations to him and to his squad.
Any huge difference you noticed from last year to this year in that team?
Yeah, those great players are a year older. They're pretty good. They were pretty good last year, I thought. And they're not turning it over. I mean, to me, if you say what's the number one thing, they're not turning it over. Last year you could count on maybe a couple. This year they're not turning it over. I mean, that would be the biggest difference. I mean, that jumps off the tape to you. Playing smart, quarterbacks taking care of the ball, not taking risks. I think they rolled about 5 or 6 running backs in there today. So they're just taking care of the football. Anything at all?
Anything else?
Yeah, go ahead.
Who's the update on Matt Harris?
Yeah, absolutely.
With him and how's he doing?
Yeah, it looked like from my vantage point, and then I saw Jim on the field, and he saw it the same way I did. It looked like he took a knee to the helmet. So he had a little laceration on his cheek that they cleaned up. And when I was walking over to do my radio postgame, he was coming out of the shower and moving around pretty well. So hopefully most of that was for precautionary reasons, and hopefully he'll respond in a positive fashion. But we'll take it day to day. So.
It looked like Danny also came out for a couple snaps after that big hit, came back in, he did all right as well.
Yeah, he got his lips knocked off. Yeah, I mean, he got rocked. But when I went out on the field, he was great. It was one of those situations where, tough play, tough football play, but got up, got ready to go.
What happened from your vantage point on the play, the interception, the passes on the sideline?
Yeah, I was there at the end of the first half. Yeah, well, I thought we had it. I mean, I thought that was a great throw, and it looked like it went right through Mike's hands. I don't know what it looked like on the replay. You guys get the privilege of that. I didn't see the replay, but it looked like Mikey had it, and it went right through his hands, and their young man just kind of got a little Christmas gift, you know, and then was obviously athletic enough to finish the catch, and then, you know, it's a tough situation when you throw a 50-50 ball like that to cover that. You know, I don't know if anybody touched him. I was just trying to make sure I was back and not in the way of the officials. It's a heck of a play by their young man.
Is that the best defense you've seen this year?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, they were the best defense that we thought. You know, them and Iowa a year ago, you know, were the two best defenses that we saw all year. You know, I haven't studied Iowa yet, but I'm assuming they'll be in the same ballpark. But you know, the wave of defensive linemen, Coach Madison's doing a great job. That front is fast and physical and big and powerful, and it looked like they dominated the 6-inch war up front today. Those linebackers played great behind it, and then we knew we were going to have to win one-on-ones, you know, with their man-to-man technique on the outside. And it looked like we lost, if not all of them, pretty darn close. You know, and then to give up a big explosive interception return. You know, you're down 3 scores. You catch that ball, you're out at the 50. You're feeling pretty good about moving the ball, you know, and you put a drive together and get points there and get the ball to start the second half. It's still a ball game. But that play, along with obviously the kickoff return, were two huge swings of momentum that, you know, obviously we weren't able to recover from.
Did you draw any comparisons between the Iowa road game last year and this one, and maybe do you learn anything from how you prepared your team to respond from that game to what you're going to do this week?
No, you know, I thought a year ago out in Iowa City, I thought that we got hit and lost momentum early, and then we didn't respond. You know, we didn't respond at all. I thought today, I thought at times we responded, and especially from a defensive standpoint, there were some times that we responded positively. I thought the rest of the game, kick game wise, I mean, I don't think Peppers had a return yard, which was the goal. You know, and there's some things that we'd like to have back a little bit from that end. You know, I thought our plan to make their punter punt the ball instead of roll out like he had been doing and holding the ball for as long, I thought was a good plan. And looked like we were a couple blocks away from popping a couple of kickoff returns. But, you know, in a game like this, when you're playing a good football team, you can't give away momentum. And they took it, which you got to credit them. I mean, they took it, and it's a credit to them. But you can't, you know, I kind of felt like at halftime we gave it away. You know, we just gave it to them, and you can't do that. So credit Michigan.
Do you think the 38-0 scoreline maybe doesn't reflect how poorly you played? Like, do you think you guys played better than that? Or?
No, I think we played terribly. But I don't want to discredit Michigan. I mean, I think that would be insulting. We hear that a lot. You know, we win a game and the other team always plays terrible. You know what I mean? So it's kind of comedy to me. I laugh. I would never want to insult an opponent that kicks your butt the way we just got our butt kicked. They played very, very well. So.
The moments that you said that your team did bounce back,
Yeah.
fight back, can you name one or two in particular that you
Yeah, I thought our defense on some times, I thought our defense bounced back. You know, I thought that there were times that we obviously didn't do anything offensively, and our punt team goes out and flips the field for us and gets us a long field defensively. I mean, I'm talking about things like that, you know. Hunter didn't hit a couple of nice punts, and then he comes back out and responds and hits a few. I mean, some areas like that. I mean, it obviously didn't reflect on the scoreboard. But, you know, when you get your fanny whipped the way we did today, you got to look for little small victories, and you got to obviously correct the big mistakes, and you got to correct the little mistakes. I mean, the little mistakes are what beat us today. You know, you can point to the kick return, you can point to the interception return, the explosive plays we gave up early, but most of those things can be handled by fundamental technique and eye control and playing physical football. And, you know, that obviously falls squarely on my shoulders. So we got to get it fixed and get back to work, which the guys will. I'm fully confident in that, and playing a very good football team next week. So it won't be hard for them to see what they have to do as they get ready next week.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Have a safe trip back to Chicago. Go Cats. Thanks.